This is a story of the ArtsTalk program, seen through the eyes of students, teachers, arts organizations, and artists who participated in school year 2010-2011. It's also a story of what the arts do for all kids, and what we see as the best of teaching and learning. ArtsTalk is a hands-on program that helps high school teachers of all subject areas work together to integrate the arts across the entire curriculum. They incorporate academics such as science, foreign language, English language arts, family and consumer science, math, international studies, shop, technology, and also a variety of arts areas like design and music. ArtsTalk begins each year with professional development for teachers based on broad themes such as culture or communication. Teachers then design and run arts-integrated projects in their own schools and classrooms. All participants return at the end of the year to share what they and their students have learned. Because we believe in ArtsTalk, teachers are also a community of learners.
Everybody is here because they want to be. It's just a really good program. Ms. Caparelli is just a good teacher.
The ArtsTalk program is getting more and more essential because as funds are cut for education, everyone sort of thinks about the arts as, oh, well, they're frosting on the cake. In fact, the arts are a mechanism for learning problem solving, for learning creative thinking, for learning critical thinking, even math skills, writing skills, thinking and talking about what you've done. The arts are central to a really civilized and effective education. And certainly we need in this world people to grow up with critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills, problem-solving skills. So the ArtsTalk grants are very, very important.
And minimizes the senioritis factor.
Senioritis factor, what's that?
You want to graduate really badly. You don't have to go to school anymore.
You're going to miss classes like this though.
I mean, yeah, but 90% of the time I just wish I was not in school, working, doing something more useful with my time. Like, I don't mind being in this class or like my carpentry class because you actually do something that I'm interested in.
No matter where
Math
you go,
class,
it's probably
English
going to be,
class.
the more hands-on it is, the more interesting it's going to be.
So what grade are you guys in?
We're seniors.
And how important do you think these art programs are to like your education?
Extremely.
They're awesome.
It makes you more of a well-rounded person, so you're not just learning math, and it gives like other people the opportunity to show what they're good at.
And it's exciting. You're not just sitting at a desk.
About 21 years ago, I was one of 4 teachers who were initially involved in the ArtsTalk program at Davies. At that time, there were about 40 students from Davies who were given opportunities to attend performances at Trinity Rep, the Rhode Island Philharmonic Orchestra, and they also visited the Rhode Island School of Design Museum and attended performances sponsored by the Rhode Island Folk Arts Council. And some of the students in the program had special needs, and some had behavior problems, some were good students, and many were considered at high risk for dropping out of school. The one thing that they all had in common was that they had all had very little exposure, if any, to the arts. And it was with some degree of anxiety that we took these students to their first performance at the Rhode Island Philharmonic. And I watched in awe as the students were transfixed by the music, and I really could hardly believe my eyes when they led the standing ovation. And that was when I decided that the arts were necessary and a necessary part of teaching. And over the years, the ArtsTalk program evolved, and the arts were woven into the academic and technical curriculum at Davies as a strategy for improving the academic performance. And amazing things happened. Students found ways to integrate the arts with their career in technical areas. Some examples of that that were most memorable were students designed Macbeth t-shirts. They were reading Macbeth in school, and they were going to attend a performance of Macbeth at Trinity. And the students in graphic arts did the silk screen and designed t-shirts that were presented to the artists. And They also, carpentry students built a podium for the Philharmonic Orchestra, and students in electrical and electronics supplied lighting and sound for productions at a local theater. But it's also very, very important for students that are at risk of dropping out of school. That's, I think, where I've seen the most value, because you can take students that really are disenfranchised with school, and when they get turned on to something from the arts that are present in the curriculum, that they respond to it. I've had many students that have been in danger of dropping out of school that have stayed specifically because of the ArtsTalk program.
Really?
It just makes such a difference in how they view themselves and how other students view them also.
My name is Carrie Azzano, and I am the Education Director at Trinity Rep, which is where we are today. And I'm one of the 3 arts organizations, along with the RISCA Museum and the Rhode Island Philharmonic, and we are involved in helping provide the arts integration for all of the schools that are involved. So we work with them over these 3 sessions, and we talk about what it is that we can provide for them. And then they apply for the grant, whether it be getting a tour of the RISD Museum with Mariani, or getting a music lesson from Rebecca, or getting to see a show here at Trinity. It's a way to bring arts education into their classroom so that they're able to sort of appeal to the creative sides of their students and to the multiple intelligences, so that those kids who are not going to really pay attention through a math class, suddenly you're bringing some sort of creative aspect into it, and that changes the story.
It's extremely important. It really brings together my orientation, because I started carpentry as an artist in the world of theater and the world of woodworking for theater, and then I went out and did more of what Tom Kelleher is explaining to the kids about, working for a living. And you go in and out of the art form part of it. But it was so nice for me to get back to the ArtsTalk thing, which is bringing art to kids who might not get it, especially traditional woodworking or automotive kids. I mean, that was the orientation and beginnings of ArtsTalk, to bring art to kids who might not get it. And I don't think my students really realize how grounded I am in the arts and how much it is important to me. Not to prove to them that every part of woodworking is an art, but there are different art forms. In ArtsTalk, I brought in puppet makers and ship modelers, and we even had a guy come in and do totem poles.
We've been very fortunate over the last 5 years or so through the ArtsTalk program to have the Raccoon artists come to our school and have kids see something that they would never see any other way. I had one boy who, a few years ago, he was very quiet. He had some version of autism, and the ArtsTalk program, he came dressed in a Japanese kimono. He watched every portion of the video that was related to Japan and was basically more attentive to it than any student in the class. And he came dressed in a kimono for the firing, and participated and really enjoyed it. The art in general would bring him out. He loved working with clay, but to see someone come dressed for the experience was really unique.
Yeah, the ArtsTalk program. I'm a history teacher, and I've been in the ArtsTalk program for. I've been in the ArtsTalk program for maybe 4 or 5 years now, and it's just great. It works together. Bringing the arts in with history, it just works. It's a perfect fit. We talk about art reflects the values and the beliefs of the people who create it. Most of the things that we look in my World History 1 class are the artifacts that are left behind, and so it's just a natural fit, like I said.
It's sort of an alternate way to teach, too, huh?
It's a great way to teach. Most of my portfolio assignments are a big thing now, and most of my portfolio assignments have 2 parts to it. One is a visual, an artistic expression of whatever the topic is, because many students can understand a topic, maybe not so, they might not be able to write it so well, but they do understand the topic itself, and they can express that understanding through the arts. And I also have a written piece with those assignments too. But I love it. I love coming together with all the teachers. You'll be there when we have the Circle of Sharing. It's just a great group of educators to work with, because they are committed to infusing the arts in their content area, and it's just a fun bunch of dedicated teachers trying to do the best for their students. It's really nice. It really is good.
The arts are absolutely crucial for our K-12 curriculum and higher ed as well. But and I don't just say this from my own personal experience as an educator, but I also know from research and national studies that have proven that our students are not creative and resourceful when they get into higher ed, when they lack a good arts background in a comprehensive high school situation or an elementary school situation. The arts are core, just as you may have all heard in the past, meaning that they bring all disciplines together. And if you have a good arts program, you can't really separate it from a good history program or a good math program, and so forth and so on. I'm a strong supporter of the arts making children well-rounded and giving them an opportunity to express themselves, which they don't always get in a more structured curriculum. Academic education in America is, I mean, it's vital that our children be educated, but the question is, people have a bias about what the word academics means. Academics to people is always math, science, and I sometimes not even science. That's how scary it is. It's reading, writing, arithmetic. It's not that. Academics is all disciplines, children being exposed to a variety of ways of learning things. They can learn everything that they need to know in the world through the science program. If the science program brings in the math, brings in the literacy, brings in the visual arts. It works the same way with a math program, a literacy program, an arts program. But children need diverse ways of learning. They should be learning thematically, and academics are a result of a theme-driven curriculum. That's the kind of learning that our children should be getting, and they don't get it. They're still on bell schedules every hour, 6 hours a day, and isolating themselves. Like math is separate from science. Like literacy is, which makes me really crazy, separate from history. I mean, literacy is history, whether it's fictional or nonfiction. And history, oh, by the way, is often fiction and nonfiction as well. So they both work well together. So the point is, I deviate so much from the way the education is offered to our kids in this country, and I have for years. And I'm just hoping somebody's going to wake up.
I feel that she's talking really something that makes real sense, and that she's making her point clear. I feel that what she's saying should be really taken into consideration and be acknowledged by the people, the counselors in the schools.
We understand that sometimes it is difficult to see the academic side of the ArtsTalk program, but we are also adamant about conveying the message that through a variety of curricula, which includes reading, writing, speaking, and listening, the ArtsTalk program addresses the Common Core standards and grade span expectations. Students utilize these standards and expectations by making use of structure, reasoning theoretically, and making sense of problems. They model with mathematics, explore cultural context and the values of human civilization, collect and analyze data, investigate, observe, predict, and communicate ideas verbally and non-verbally. While using a variety of tools and techniques, students conduct inquiries, apply design principles, and generate ideas as they connect the past with the present.